Hello and welcome to another English class. Today we are looking at phrasal verbs with take. Now there are some very important rules for you to know when you use phrasal verbs, and I did a video on those, and you can find that video in my playlist English classes. Just go to my channel, look for playlists, and then you'll see English classes, and right at the bottom you'll see a video called phrasal verb rules. It's very important to know those rules when you're using phrasal verbs. So let's look at some phrasal verbs with take. 1. Take off. To remove clothes. She took off her hat. She removed her hat. He took off his jacket. He removed his jacket. You can also say she took her hat off, or he took his jacket off. The next meaning is to become successful or leave the ground, but these are exactly the same. One is literal and one is metaphorical. So in a literal sense, a plane or a helicopter or a rocket takes off, it leaves the ground. A business or an idea takes off means it becomes successful. It has an upwards trajectory. Okay, the business really took off. It became successful. Or the business didn't take off. It didn't leave the ground. It wasn't successful. Take over. To take control of. They took over the struggling business. Struggling means not doing very well or having difficulty, okay? They took over the struggling business, then it took off. I use this phrasal verb again here, to become successful. So the business wasn't successful, a bigger business took it over, and then it took off. It became successful. The next phrasal verb is to take after, which means to be similar to an older relative in terms of characteristics or behavior. Some teachers and books will tell you this means to look like. To take after means to look like. You can use it for that sense, but it really is more related to characteristics, mannerisms, behavior. He takes after his father. He behaves like his father. He speaks like his father, maybe. His mannerisms are similar to those of his father. Who do you take after? Do you take after your mother, your father, maybe one of your grandparents? It has to be someone who has had an influence on you when you were growing up. All right, the next phrasal verb is take to, which is to feel comfortable or to adjust. He took to his new school like a duck to water. This is a very common English phrase. When you take to something like a duck to water, it means you are immediately comfortable, like a duck would be when it is in water. Okay, a duck's natural habitat is water, obviously. So it means to feel comfortable. He took to his new school. You don't have to use this in the phrase. You could say he took to his new school immediately. She took to her new job very quickly. The people, the place made her feel very welcome or made him feel very comfortable. So he took to it, she took to it immediately. Okay? Now the next phrasal verb has two meanings. The first meaning is to occupy space or to occupy time. To occupy space or time. The table takes up too much space. It's too big. It occupies too much space. Music takes up my spare time. Music occupies my spare time. Her friends take up all her spare time. She loves spending time with her friends. Okay? The next meaning of take up is to start a new hobby or sport. We took up tennis as a way to stay fit or as a way to have fun. Okay? To start a new hobby or sport. When you move to a new city or town, perhaps you take up a new hobby or sport to meet people. She took up photography to meet other people. He took up football to meet other people. There you go. There's some phrasal verbs with take. Not all the phrasal verbs with take, but some of the phrasal verbs with take. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel because it helps it grow, which means I can reach more people and help more people, which is fantastic. Hit thumbs up. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Leave a comment if you have any doubts or questions, or if you want to say hello, and share this with anyone you know who is learning English, because it would be very useful for them. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon for another English video. Bye-bye.